I've never thought myself much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me to all sorts of strange and distant places. With that in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. There's this odd perception that Ishgardians have lived their whole lives in the snow, but it really wasn't that bad before the calamity. And afterwards, well, I was rarely more than a few paces from a raging fire. This dreadful place, on the other hand, is nothing but cold, cold, cold. And it's my understanding that Ilsabard has always been this way. Oh, gods, can you imagine? Gods be good. If it's this cold with Tataru's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when next we meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. So, it's into the Eblan Rime we go. But where do we even start looking in such a place? Milling about aimlessly? What ho, chums? Been given something useful to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Since you ask, we're to scour the Eblan Rime for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? You'd take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise. Or, more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. He is a bit of a ninny, our boy, but I have faith that maybe he'll do something good. He might. We gotta give him a chance. We gotta let him have his moment. There are enemies and things here. This was all completely empty last time. Look at all the critters. Let's get this aether current. The ceruleum field over there. This zone is just so different. We obviously do have, I think, some other melancholy ice zones from Heavensward, but there is something about this one where I think they did do a great job of differentiating how it feels, and obviously even more so in the day when you can see the gigantic hulking monstrosity on the horizon. But it feels like it has its own sense of being a snow landscape that's different from the kind of gothic, dragon corpse-infested Ishgardian landscapes. I'm surprised by how many wild beasts there are roaming about the place. Perhaps now that the soldiers have gone, they're free to wander and forage as they please. The few buildings I can see don't appear to be residences. They may still warrant investigation, though. I spy with my little telescope a massive sheep thing. Or maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after either way. Is that an ether current? Ah, no, just a wind sprite. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. But lo! What do I see over yon hillock? There's no mistaking it! That's a girl! A survivor? Show me! Over there, behind that tree. It looks like she's running away from something, though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress. A rather fetching one at that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful. Thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, no, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. And lest we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed! One day that man-child will grow up. But today is not that day. I mean, he did do a responsible thing, though. That was responsible, and I'm proud of him for that. So there is that. A trail of fresh footprints leads east. Ceruleum sprites! Apparently they already found it. They're just right up ahead. These footprints appear to be the same as those you saw previously, and they lead towards the building. According to the label here, this place was used by those involved with extracting ceruleum. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first, we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't even look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? Is this? It is! Monitoring station! They modeled a lot of the ceruleum stuff off of real-world oil. You know, drilling and drawing up from wells for oils. So monitoring stations and stuff like that are actually used. I now know more about this than I ever did. Are actually used to monitor the, like, amount, quantity, volatility, all that kind of stuff of oil to make sure that none is leaking out or that anything has, you know, anything bad has happened. Is it gonna be somebody tempered? Why would she be wearing a dress if it's this cold? I guess it could be like a really thick robe or something. Was he just imagining something? No, that's a person. The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from this distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safer to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Well, let's try. Follow the girl from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed. Make use of cover such as rocks to approach her without being seen. Similarly, the objective will also end in failure if you fall too far behind. Should you fail to complete the objective, you may try again by returning to the designated location. Okay. Well, we'll see just how far her like, area of notice is. I'm guessing we can probably hide behind this if she, like, stops and turns around. Yep. So we'll wait here for a second. What? Nobody here? No, nothing here. So far, so good. Totally not anyone following you for sure. There is that big tree up ahead, so maybe we can hide behind that. Just gonna wait a second. I like how the three of us are just all clumping together. Trying hard not to be noticed, following the same path. This peacock is totally inconspicuous. Nobody's gonna notice us. I must be imagining things. It does seem like she'd be cold though, right? She needs a big fluffy hat or something. Girl running, she be running. I wonder if she's going to that little country house. Victor spoils, oh god! She has to be. If those beasts spot me, I'm done for. She definitely doesn't seem tempered. So maybe those people who were living out in the country estates outside of the city weren't hit by it because they were outside of the main metropolitan area. I hope my luck holds. Just imagining all of us just back here like, got to keep going. Gonna try and avoid this big marble. Well, marble-esque thing. Overgrown rose, technically. Just a little farther. What? I failed? Are you serious? How? No! They seem like they're still in place and they didn't get noticed. Oh, that stinks. Okay, we'll go back. Maybe I was just too slow, but it didn't seem like the other two even moved in when I did. Huh. I have to say, it feels a little silly to make you go all the way back here and redo this. Especially when she goes pretty slow. I do appreciate the effort though, right? Again, to shake up what you're doing and give you something else. I think that's well worth. So we hide behind these rocks. I wonder if I just shouldn't hide behind those pillars. Maybe I just need to stay really far away. I'm not totally sure. I guess we'll see when we get up there and we'll try again, and if we fail, we fail. And then she'll stop up in these trees. So we're gonna follow the same path that we did last time. And then we'll wait here. We'll wait and see. It does seem like at this point you'd be so close to her, you could just be like, hey. You can try not to be loud about it so you wouldn't draw monsters. Okay, she's gonna book it and we're gonna follow behind. Get behind this rock. Hey, then wait. I guess maybe we could try going to the left. This person seems like they might be. And then get behind the tree or the rock over there. I don't know, we'll see. It does seem like it would be more natural to go to the right to try and get behind those pillars, right? I don't know though. This friend is going behind this tree, huh? Oh, we go behind tree here and then pillar seems like it would be the place to go. They're all depending on me, so maybe there are survivors then. Maybe there's more survivors than I thought. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and book it. I'm gonna try and get behind this pillar as fast as humanly possible. We'll just see. It seems like this is where I was last time, but this is the last part. Let's hope we don't goof it now. This person is keeping behind these pillars, huh? And then to the tree. Makes sense. And then... oh gosh, I feel like I'm gonna get too far behind her. I don't have sprint. Did I lose her? No! We made it! Okay, good, 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 good! We made it! Whoo! Duty complete! Woof! Phew. Still in one piece. Hi, hello. Don't mean to scare you, but... Hey there. Oh, she's Garly and she has a third eye. Who are you? Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow the place sky high. Please, we just want to talk. I'm Alfino. This is my sister Alice and our good friend Valka. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all of this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telophoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name's Licinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same questions. Ever since that night and the roar, the terrible roar, and the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran past friends, people I'd known all my life. I was vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled, as far as my legs would take me. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No. No, this is Victor's spoils. A mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was, but now me and a few others are, borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help. Can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. A mansion for retired soldiers. Like, it goes to a specific soldier, or it's much bigger than it seems? Because it does not seem that big. It doesn't seem like much of a mansion on the surface. Though they could have built down, you know? That's everyone? The sound does call to mind the end of days, the sound that they heard. That was all really effective too, the underset soundscape and everything. Oh, jeez, okay. Alright. This is everyone. Licinia says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us a means of heating the place, as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? I did not even think about the fact that they literally wouldn't even be able to keep themselves warm with magic. That is pretty bad. I mean, yes, there are other ways, flint and the like. It's possible, it's very likely that probably they have stuff like that, but because of their dependence on technology and the tragedy that struck, that would be really difficult. We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under that gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes, do as you will. The music drops out suddenly. What is she hiding? Are there people in here that are tempered, but she doesn't want us to find them? Or is she waiting for those to go away? No, okay. She knows. Sneaky secrets left and right everywhere, as far as the eye can see in Endwalker. One day I'll get tired of singing the theme, but today is not that day. Nor is any other day, probably. Licinia's inner turmoil is writ plain on her face. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll just leave space around the fire for others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Yes, I am a healer. But also we can probably give them a fire and food and stuff like that, which might also help a lot. Also, I could not figure out where this old-timey crackle music was coming from until I realized that there was literally like a radio or music player up here. What they need most is a decent meal. We've food back at the camp, but there's the distance to consider. All's well. All's well. With food in my belly and a song in my heart. I can feel my fingers again. Silence. That one's an easy one to voice. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Exercise outfit man, exercise leotard man, thank you. Thank you for moving off of Alphino, so I didn't have to look at your exercise crotch while I talked to him. I mean, I am still looking, but, you know, it's not right where his face is. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Emanalane's tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone can get one? The numbness is beginning to subside, though. I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Have a tincture! Have some drugs I made. Well, I didn't make them, but somebody else did. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. There's no harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of his city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened, it's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow, food production, water purification. The magitech that sustained us has come grinding to a halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulia Ingens is full of this stuff for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. All is well, it has never been better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? 'Twas a joke, a joke. If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep, so said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the dishevelled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew no better than to plead with the horde. Oh, but I knew better than to flee with the horde, and to plead with the horde even. I fled with my health, if not my conscience, preserved. Now, I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. What do you want? A tincture? I might as well drink it, I suppose. This is depressing, is what's happening right now. The Garlean anthem or the song playing in the distance. Or at least the melody that we hear all the time. I don't think it's actually the anthem of Garlemald. This? It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular, made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Aminus it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others. Because all we've been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Aminus. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hoped to take back what was ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days must surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varys yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varys would not be defeated so easily. Okay, buddy, you keep holding on to hope however you can. You hold on to it, don't die. One day when you're ready, you can face the truth. That is intriguing, though. Also, the 2-year-old is running by upstairs again. There's not much that can be done. But, I mean, could it be that, I don't know, they're picking up on the tempering in some way, shape, or form? Or is there somebody still alive who is trying to convey a message of hope to everybody? I don't know. Kind of haunting, though, kind of creepy. What's that? Have a tincture, girl. You need it. So this is what you gave the others? Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Legatus Virgilia's troops heading towards the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. So, how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships? Then there might be a way to... Licinia? Where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby almasty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people, too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. You'd best watch out for baby almasties while we're away. Yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to shoo them away. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. What is happening in there? I'm not sure what else the tappers might need besides provisions, though. I dare say that capable fighters like yourself can offer them other forms of compensation. Culling dangerous beasts, that sort of thing. If they are tempered, we literally just told you we have a cure for tempering. Is there something else? What else could be in there? What? Are they trying to hide some terrible crime they're doing? Like they're eating they're eating a person bit by bit or something? That would be so dark and so terrible. That cannot be it, right? That can't be it. What is happening in there? Let's cross the ice. We can see if there are any other ether currents around to the south. Well, we are heading exactly south, but I have this feeling that it would probably be on these pipes. Maybe there's a sneaky way to get up there. Yeah, girl, these are not sneaking into your house. Even a baby gonna be too big to just wedge themselves into a crack or something. Northeast, yeah, I bet you. There it is! So there's probably a way that you can get on top of the pipes further down and then run across it and then drop down, is my guess. Wasn't so bad going across the ceruleum ice. And their entrance should be... it's over here. There's a very narrow cave. You get stuck, oh friend. You go around it. Just go around. Or maybe they were trying to see if they could run up there. Maybe there's the current's over here. I see. Maybe they thought it was up on that ridge. Grab this. Go in here now. Fine. Fine, I will kill you. Who goes there? How did you find us? Oh, okay. What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? Huh. If the purebloods over at Victor Spoils haven't given away our location, you'd have never found us. Those stuck-up assholes thought they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If they think we'll give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Well, okay, I will intimidate you, and you will give me what I want. I think that's probably how this is going to go. But if you really want to try your hand, then we'll do it, Burly Tappers. My holy just literally fills the entire screen. This is amazing. Stop, please. Consider me intimidated. There you are. Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I've a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. Why would she have experience in doing that? I'm sure there's some reason. So this is Tappa's den. Well then, after you. Oh, I think it was another quest. I'm trying to remember. That's definitely a reference to something else that's happened or been mentioned in the game. But I don't... I don't remember what it is. Who are you? What happened to the guards? I killed them. No, I didn't. I beat their asses. Eosians and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess. None of you are Garlean. You were brought here from other lands? Girbania, Yangshut, Boja, Dalmasca, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of On, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. I don't know what this guy's accent is, but we're kind of winging it as we go. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerulia Ingens. Still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake. But how can you do that if it's frozen over? Ha, wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins, we take enough power to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask. But if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire. And the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by. Even if Garlemald as we knew it is gone for good. Gone for good. I mean, yeah, it seems pretty messed up beyond all repair at this point. I mean, they could bring the people back. They could rebuild the tower. It's possible, you know? If you're wondering why we'd post guards outside, it's because we've had trouble with other refugees. And I don't mean the ones that Victor spoils. Some of them come bearing weapons and won't take no for an answer. As for the 2 guards you met on your way in, I'll tell them what we discussed. Once they're recovered from the beating you gave them, come to think of it, maybe we should ask your contingent to send some bandages and healing balm. Regardless of what the Ilsabard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. The fire we built at Victor's Spoils won't last forever, and it's too dangerous for Licinia and the others to search for more kindling. If we can get them some ceruleum, that'll be one less thing for them to worry about. For a time, at least. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor's Spoils sent you? To turn to their enemies for help. Ah, they must be more desperate than I thought. Then again, Licinia's got her little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange. But I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? We got there with the accent. Eventually we kind of made it a thing. I can't for the life of me think why Licinia would keep her sister a secret from us. But we can ask about that after we've delivered the ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. I thought for sure they were going to make us do some nonsensical fetch quest. Like, we'd have to go out and literally have to kill, 5 of these things or whatever. They did not, and I am happy about that. That's good. I'm trying to book it so we can get to the next dungeon. I'm ready. I'm like, please, I want some more content to dig into so I can run it in some roulettes. Well, run it in some, just repeating it through the duty finder. It really makes me happy that so many people do seem to have put on their warm clothes for the zone. There's just so many of them. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphino would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Oh, something bad. Was her sister, in the process of turning into extreme tempering? Is that something that was happening? You know how kind of we saw people succumb to the light and the effects of it? Maybe that's what was ailing her, but she didn't want to tell us because she was worried that we would kill her, or I don't know. It's interesting. The search. Oh, back here. What happened? What in the world? They asked me to help carry supplies. But when I followed them back here, they attacked me, caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are, waiting in the wings for us to show weakness. They need you swoop. Here to help, what rot! All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Lest let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true, Licinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now, there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot! Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry, or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, taint it with the same sorcery used to slay your countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them since the moment you arrived. Well, Garleans, you're making it hard for us to sympathize with you. Now, I understand. This is good. This is more complex. This is a multi-layered look at this, and these are purebloods, so again, their perceptions are much different. So this is interesting. I do think this is a good layer to add to this, that there is so much mistrust. They've been so isolated up here. They have been fed so much propaganda and lies for so long. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Licinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and theirs. I will join you in the search after. All right. Be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. It's just literally they didn't trust us. It wasn't anything otherwise suspicious. It's just that they were trying to allow her to get away. Rob us of our lands. Rob us of our pride. No, no, no. I'll not allow it. Better to die free than live in servitude and shame. The girls would say the same. You won't have to, you dingles. I get it. This is far more interesting than it being some kind of fantasy nonsense, like they didn't want us to kill somebody. This is much more interesting, the complexities of human behavior, but, you dingles. 2 sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. Let's go! I'm gonna be real sad if they've gone out here and they've been killed by something, you know? I mean, it's very likely. It's super likely. But it would still be such a huge... What a waste, you know? Maybe they'll just be like a little duty bubble thing and we'll have to defend them, rescue them, that kind of thing. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as to not leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place, it's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Alright, well. Where would I go? I mean, there's the building over there. There's the trapper's den over here. So it could be that they tried to flee here, but it's not like this would be any more helpful for them, you know? The empty bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dirt indicates it has been here for some time, and it is unlikely to have any connection with Licinia or her sister. Okay. In Red Dead, this is such a silly thing. In the Red Dead Redemption 2 co-op mode, there are these missions, maybe in the regular mode too, but I've mostly played co-op, funnily enough. And there's these missions where you have to go around and look for clues around camps and stuff. And I am very much getting that sense now, but I don't actually have some kind of special pulsing radar that I can use to specifically have it kind of hone in on clues for me. Oh, into the glowy. I mean, maybe they went under the bridge? Like, where would they be going? What are you trying to do, you diggles? A piece of paper, that's probably not them. The wet paper half buried in the snow appears to be a flyer for a theater troupe, although the run of shows advertised has long since ended. How much do you want to bet that's a reference to the airship that... Is it the Dalriada? No, it's not Dalriada. The airship that we had that has a theater troupe in it in the beginning of the Evil East raids. I bet you anything. How big does this go? Okay, well, let's go look around the platform. It doesn't make it all the way to the monitoring station, but it could be that they're going that way because they heard us talk about airships and things. It could be that they're coming this way. Oh, fresh blood? Oh, no! That's no good! The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads south. west. Is that what it said? This way. Southeast. Oh, jeez. Why did you do this? We would have saved you! Please let me heal her as a healer! Oh, no! Oh, and their hands are held! Why? We could have helped you too! You didn't have to do this! Oh! The two bodies are already cold. Terrible. Tragic. Oh. Oh my gosh. How awful, the mistrust, suspicion between people. And then this music again. I'll say it's too late. It's too late. They're gone. I know it's gonna hit you hard. You always want to save everybody. I know. She's gonna have flashbacks.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked.
They're gone.
No.
No, 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 no. Shh. You couldn't have done anything. There was nothing you could have done.
Why? Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have...
Again, you two, there's nothing... There was no way to anticipate what they were gonna do. In such desperate times.
We have to take them home.
In such a desperate situation, to still at this threshold refuse help.
What if we're only making it worse?
We have to extend an olive branch. An attempt has to be made.
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither did they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
They were pushed here so many generations ago. Well, actually not that many generations ago. Although Solas's reign wasn't like the actual beginning of everything. There was, you know, a group of Garleans before that and Garlean civilization before that. Or I guess Garlean nation before that.
I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave.
But unless we bring them in from the cold, literally, they will never be at peace with everyone else, you know?
Of course, I didn't believe it. But Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all.
Could be that somebody's puppeting his body, you know?
I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right.
You do whatever you want with that.
You had every reason
not
not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
That line, too, hurts extra, because they literally have been left metaphorically out in the cold by their father right now, you know? They have been forcibly cut off from everything that they've known because they chose to do something that they thought was right. And, I mean, of course, Garlemald is a different situation, but these twins have spent so much of their life looking for their place and trying to figure out what they do in the steps of their grandfather, in the steps of the legacy of their family, what they want as individuals, what the world is all about when they lived a fairly sheltered existence, you know? And to see these things and these horrors, to face this nation, I think when they have so much more wisdom and understanding and compassion than they ever did, it makes my feelings hurt. It's good, but it makes my feelings hurt. And the fact that those are two siblings, looking at the grave of two siblings, please don't kill my twins, Square Enix. I'm starting to get this, like, terrible feeling that in the last chapter of this story, they're gonna kill everybody, and then there's gonna be some last-minute thing where you go into the live stream and you find their souls and pull them back out, but you're gonna, like, live every waking moment until then thinking that all of your friends are dead, Wolf's End ending style. You're gonna be like, or sorry, Wolf's Reign ending style. Wolf's Reign, the anime, for who doesn't know, which is... it was my great first sadness betrayal in an anime. You could think everybody's dead, but then, unlike the anime, you're gonna pull their spirits out of the stream or something. Because there was that whole discussion about whether or not souls remain intact, and then they'll be fine, and you bring back the ancients. I don't know. Please let it have a happy ending overall. This team tends to lean towards those and hopeful things, but I think we're gonna be taking an emotional beating until then. There must have been something we could have done. But what? Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more trouble. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. We just going back to the camp, I'm guessing? Okay, let's use Aetherite. Gosh. I mean, the whole visual story of this zone does not speak about upbeat, happy things, you know? And I'm kind of glad that they've really gone for something that, again, they aren't shying away from the complexity of this imperialist nation that they've created. We saw that in the Sorrow of Verlaine quests, which are so good. They're some of my favorite side content quests. I was not expecting the culmination and the emotional just knockout that they did at the end there. Fantastic. But I think they really have given the weight to considering as much as you know, again, I think they could without it feeling just like really, really, really overpowering. But I think they've given a lot of weight to this and complexity to this that many other MMOs who set up something like this might not do, you know? They would either completely villainize the people or try to like come up with a ton of different reasons to, I guess, excuse them or forgive them or whatever it would be, even if they had committed atrocities. But we're kind of in this more complex gray area, and it is distressing and it's disturbing and it is just the right thing for this setting and for the lore and everything that they've built up in this map. It really feels like with that tone they hit the nail on the head, at least in this area.